I just turned 30 and this is what I'm worth on paper.
Press the backs of our hands together. It's still wet, so the ink should.
So I'm not just tracking money for fun, I'm actually working towards financial freedom, and the motivation behind that is that I have a long bucket list that I want to complete. And I also have a daughter now that I want to spend all my time with, but currently I am 100% dependent on my job, my 9 to 5 job. So I'm trying everything, every side hustle, and I'm trying to become a content creator. And I'm also trying to sell my digital products. And the plan is to continue to do that and see where it takes me. So I haven't done a net worth video before, but 30 feels like a good time. Like it's a nice checkpoint. It's a milestone birthday and a new decade for me. And a lot can happen. And I just want to be able to look back and see where I was at 30. And I like watching these kinds of videos, and that is why I'm making them as well, because I think it's fun. So I think this will definitely be a yearly thing on my channel. So what actually is net worth? Well, it's everything you own minus everything you owe. The things you own is called assets, and that's like cash, investments, property, car, anything you have at home with like a decent resale value. And everything you owe is liabilities, and that is mortgage, student loans, credit card debt, anything you owe money to. And an important clarification is that this is my net worth today. Like I have investments in the stock market, and the housing market goes up and down. So it can vary from day to day even, but these are my numbers today. So a little bit about me and my situation. I am currently on maternity leave, but I have gotten a new full-time job. So I've worked full-time for a while, and in Norway, where I'm from Norway, the maternity leave is paid. So I haven't like been saving up and spending all my savings in maternity leave. I've actually like lived fully normal. I am a content creator by profession, so I am going to be employed in like a bureau where I work with different businesses that I will help with social media. I'm married. I met my husband 10 years ago, so we've been together for a long time, and I've split my bills with him for a long time. As I said, we just had a baby, and that is our first baby. We own our house. That is actually the third property that we own together. Our second house. The first one was an apartment. Then we bought another house, and now we're on our second house. I have a bachelor's degree in visual communication, so I have student loan, and we own 2 cars. So let's get into the numbers. In my bank and in my personal account, savings account, and my personal buffer, I have 35,372 Norwegian kroners. I can comfort you with that. That is my personal numbers, and I have some more with my husband, but I choose to share my numbers online. He doesn't, so I will keep that private, but I do think that's a bit low. I'm working on my buffer. That was completely empty at the beginning of the year because I needed to have a lawyer to do some things for me, and that is crazy expensive. So that is a bit low, but I am working on it. In stocks, I have 34,231 kroners, and in funds and IPS, which is a retirement investing account here in Norway, I have about 148,423 kroners. Pension through my job is 222,832 kroners. That is an employer-based retirement account that my employer saves for me, like a percentage of my salary they save for me, and they need to do that by law here in Norway. Our home, we haven't like got an official valuation in a while, but we got told that when we are finished, and we are currently working on the last of the renovations, that it would be worth close to 6 million. So, but we don't have that on paper, but we bought this really beautiful home, but it needed a lot of renovations. It was clearly from the 60s, and we have renovated everything and done everything up to today's standards and spent a lot of money doing that. So we know that it has increased its value, and I put it at 5.8 million. So my half is 2.9 million. My half of the cars that we own is about 140,000 kroners. That is a realistic resale value today. And household items with a resale value I put at 180,000 kroners, just like a rough evaluation in my head. I think that's about it. So the total of my assets is 3,660,858 kroners. And that's great, but now over to what I owe. My half of our mortgage is 2.3 million. My student loan is at 89,371 kroners. I have paid a lot of extra into my student loan and I'm very happy where I'm at. Like when I got under 90,000, that just felt amazing. And I am hoping to get rid of it in total very soon. But first I will prioritize the private loan that we got, and my half of that is 84,000 kroners. That is money that we used to buy one of the cars because we had a car and it just went crazy and wasn't trustworthy right before I gave birth. So we had to buy like a little bit newer and fancier car that I could trust with me and my baby. So the total of my liabilities is 2,473,371 kroners. So if I take my assets minus my liabilities, I end up at 1,187,487 kroners, which is roughly 110, 115,000 US dollars. And honestly, I'm really happy about that. I'm proud of myself. I do think that both me and my husband together have done both good choices and bad choices, but we have learned a lot in our 20s. And ultimately, I'm just very proud of where we're at right now. And I know we're going further. I know we have a plan for that. We are building a rental unit in the first floor of our house, for example, that will help pay down our mortgage and just get us a bit ahead of it. But my total net worth may be over 1 million on paper, but the part I can actually spend is pretty low. Right now, that is closer to like 40, 45,000, and that is not a lot, and that needs to get better. And there are a lot of excuses and reasons for the status of my economy right now, but one thing is clear, and that is that I will be a lot better next year because I will work even harder for that. Number one, get my personal buffer a little bit bigger. Or a lot bigger, maybe like the double at least. And then I will pay down my part of the private loan that we got. There are no interest and stuff like that. It just makes me feel really unindependent, if that's the word. I want to feel independent and I want to be independent. So I don't want a private loan ever. Not anymore. Then I will prioritize to invest, and then I will put some money aside to pay down my student loan faster and maybe try to set a bit more aside for retirement. Since I'm now starting to track my net worth, I have made a net worth tracker in Google Sheets and I will keep up with myself yearly. I look forward to see where I'm at next year. I am always positive and optimistic about my future. I think you need to be, and I'm just excited to see. A lot can happen in a year. So, and yeah, that was it for this video. I would love to know, do you track your net worth and when did you start doing that? Thank you so much for watching, and I just want to say that do not compare yourself to me. I don't really compare myself to other creators that make these kinds of videos, but I just feel very inspired, and yeah, I hope that is what the feeling that you sit with now. There's no reason to like compare yourself to me. We are all in different situations. We grew up differently. We work in different fields. All of that. This is something I put out there just to keep myself accountable, and just I want more openness and honesty about finances. That's inspiring and motivating to me, and that is my intention to put out this video, not to make anyone feel bad. So have a great day, and hopefully you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.